Hello, my amazing artist. Today we are going to create stained glass windows using paper towels, the primary colors, and regular construction paper. We're going to create two different kinds, one using simple shapes and one using kind of a snowflake pattern. Alright, the first thing you need to do is get a paper towel. I use the thin ones, but it can be whatever size you have laying around the house. We want to fold it over. You could also do this with a coffee filter if you did not have a paper towel. What you're going to do is you're going to use your marker to color in the paper towel using primary colors. Try not to overlap the colors though when you are using them. So I have a big marker just to save time, but you're going to fill the entire thing using your markers, using just primary colors. Now our primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. And those colors make up all the colors in the rainbow. So fill just one side of your paper towel with colors. The next thing you're going to do, if you have a spray bottle, you would spray your paper towel from here. But not everybody has paper or spray bottles laying around their house, so I have a bowl of water. I'm going to unfold my paper towel. Now you'll notice that some of the marker has already transferred to the back because it's soaked through. The part that we painted, we're going to keep in our hands. The part that's not painted, we're going to just gently put it in the water. Then lay your paper towel down and you're going to fold it back over. Make sure you press down so that the paper towel absorbs the water. Now your hands may get a little bit messy with this. You're going to leave it sitting probably for about an hour to 2 hours for it to dry. Now with the magic of e-learning, Miss Desch already has one that's dry. So when you open it up, you'll see that all the colors have mixed and created secondary colors. Our red and yellow have made orange. Our blue and yellow have made green. And we can find some spots where red and blue made purple. From here, you're going to get a piece of construction paper. Depending on the size of the paper towel that you have is going to depend on how you fold your paper. Mine is long and skinny. So I'm going to fold my construction paper long and skinny. With a pencil, marker, crayon, whatever you have laying around, you can draw shapes. So I'm going to draw a triangle, maybe a semicircle, that's half of a circle, and a rectangle. Next, you're going to use your scissors. Remember, when we hold scissors, the silver part is the alligator mouth. We don't hold the alligator mouth to us because we don't want it to bite us. We put our thumb in the small hole, our fingers in the large, and the alligator chomps away from us. Hold your paper. Remember to keep your hands away from the alligator's mouth. And you're going to cut out the shapes. Make sure your paper, you're holding both pieces together so that you're cutting both of the pieces. You're going to use your hand to turn. You might want your parents to help you with this part. Pick the paper up. I'm cutting out the semicircle, keeping my fingers away from that alligator's mouth. Cutting out the triangle. You can throw the scrap pieces away, or maybe you could make something with them. Draw little faces or create a flower or something with them. That could be another art project if you're bored. All right, from here, you're going to open up your paper. I'm going to turn it to where I drew on. That way I don't have my marker outlines on the front of my stained glass window. All right, if you have a bottle of glue at home, it would be best to use that. If not, if you have your glue stick, you can use that just as well. If you have a bottle of glue, you hold the glue bottle with one hand. With your other hand, you put your hands on the orange lid and you twist until that white bubble goes away. Now we're going to outline our shapes. We're going to try to stay as close to the shapes as we can. Boop, boop, boop. You don't want puddles of glue. We just want a line of glue. You're then going to take the brightest side of your paper towel and face it down, covering up the holes. And you're going to hold it and count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We then turn it over and we have a beautiful stained glass window. You could add more shapes on here with your markers or crayon if you want. Now to do this, if you want to make it a little bit harder, you can take another piece of construction paper, fold it in half to make a snowflake. We're then going to fold it in half again. So far I've folded it vertically, and I folded it horizontally. To get the snowflake shape, you're going to cut the corners off. So I'm going to go from one end to the other, cutting just like a curved shape out in my paper. So I'm going to unfold it just so you can see what I did. Kind of makes an oval shape. You don't need to unfold it though. All right, this is where it gets tricky. The first cut you can cut all the way off, but any other cuts you cannot cut all the way through. So if I use my scissors and cut all the way through here, this big piece is going to fall off. So to help me know where I'm going to cut, I'm just going to use a marker and I'm going to draw some lines. You could fold this more times and make more shapes, but it's going to be harder for you to cut. So I'm going to cut out the marker lines. That way I don't cut through my paper all the way. You're turning your hands with the paper instead of turning the scissors. Keeping your fingers away from the alligator's mouth. You'll then open it up and you have kind of a snowflake shape. You would do the same thing as we did on the previous one. You would take your glue and you would outline all the shapes. Just to make sure that your paper towel sticks down real well. And you would then take your, let's see if this one's ready yet. It's still wet, but see if it's, wow. So it hasn't mixed quite enough, but just to show you guys what this one will look like, we're going to go ahead and use it. Lay it down, hold it for 10 seconds. And we'll flip it over. Now you see that Miss Desch didn't measure because I was in a hurry, but I have this extra down here. I could cut it off and glue it to the back, and that way I would have enough to completely cover it. I hope you had fun creating secondary colors with your primary colors and using shapes to create your stained glass. Have fun!